Way back in the late 70s and early 80s, if it was a Friday night, it was pretty easy to find me. My butt would be firmly planted on the couch watching the Dukes of Hazzard and the Incredible Hulk on CBS. And one of the main reasons that I love the Dukes of Hazzard can be seen right here. Actor James Best, better known to TV viewers as Sheriff Rosco P. Coltrane. Yep, I can hear his signature snicker in my head right now. Thinking back, there was a lot to like about the Dukes of Hazzard. Along with Rosco chasing those Duke boys around, there was also a great supporting cast, including Denver Pyle as Uncle Jesse, and an outstanding comedic performance by Sorrell Book as the only kind of villainous boss hog. And of course, there was Daisy Duke. Taking a step back for just a moment, prior to the Dukes of Hazzard, I remember seeing James on the Andy Griffith Show as a guitar player named Jim Lindsay. He showed up a couple of times during that show's first season, and I believe whisked Miss Ellie away from Sheriff Taylor before he even knew what was going on. What? You don't remember that? It happened. Just trust me. As the Dukes of Hazzard became something of a cultural phenomenon here in the US, James' role in the show seemed to continue to grow. While maybe he didn't have the youthful appeal of the lead actors in the show, he played Rosco in such a way that you just knew that this guy was way more than just a bumbling lawman for the Duke boys to outwit. No, Rosco P. Coltrane was a good man with a huge heart. No better example of that was how James made sure that after the Dukes ended, that the dog who played Flash was well taken care of. Oh come on, you remember Flash, right? He showed up around season 3 to keep Bachelor Rosco company. He was also there to bark angrily at Boss Hogg, just in case we didn't know who the real scallywag was. The addition of Flash to the show came at the request of Best himself, who didn't want his character to be so alone. He'd asked the creative team to give Rosco a bride, and when that didn't happen, he settled upon the idea of giving Rosco a canine companion. According to one of my channel subscribers, Jason Duke 360, Sandy, the dog who played Flash, was rescued from an animal shelter just a day or two before she was scheduled to be put down. Of course, the rest is history. Right up there with Batman and Robin and Holmes and Watson, you've got the crime-fighting duo of Coltrane and Flash. Over the course of the next few seasons, Rosco and Best became incredibly attached to this lovable basset hound. So much so, in fact, that Best requested that the show's producers provide a private dressing room for Sandy. He was always very complimentary of his co-star, who he said was adorable and very smart. He would often joke with castmates that Sandy would do anything for a weenie, as hot dog chunks were her reward for a scene well done. When the show finally ended, Best made sure that Sandy would be taken care of for the remainder of her days. From everything that I've read, this is just the type of thing that you would expect James Best to do. He was a kind and caring person that was universally admired by the Duke's cast and crew. Due in no small part to Best's efforts, Sandy lived to the ripe old age of 14 before passing away in 1989. Sadly, Sandy would not be around to partner up with Best in either of the reunion movies, the first of which premiered in 1997. In that movie, Rosco, who was still the sheriff, also was the county boss, taking over that title after the passing of Boss Hogg. Best loved the role of Rosco so much and was absolutely delighted to be able to return to it in this TV movie, as well as its follow-up, Hazzard in Hollywood. Best passed away in 2015 after a brief battle with pneumonia. He had developed respiratory trouble while on a cruise and sadly never recovered. You know, I've talked a lot about his TV work here, but he was also on the big screen quite a bit as well. A couple of movies that you may have seen him in and not even realized it are The Caine Mutiny with Humphrey Bogart and Shenandoah with Jimmy Stewart. But here's how I prefer to remember James Best. Yep, Rosco and Flash, keeping the mean streets of Hazzard County safe and sound. Bless them both. Okay, now it's your turn. Please share your memories in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Maybe even share it on Facebook and Twitter. And what the heck? While you're at it, why not subscribe to my channel? I talk about music, movies, and television, mostly from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.